Hey everybody, I am back today with another episode of Insider Secrets, where we're going to talk about. I'm going to be joined by Kate, who's my online business manager, and we're going to be talking about mindset tips and tricks on my side of the equation, and then on her side of the equation, online business management tricks. And the reason we started this series is because there has felt to both of us that it's kind of a mystery how problems get solved in these, um, online coaching and wellness businesses. It's like you're supposed to have all the answers, even though you definitely uh, don't need to have all the answers. You need to know how to look for support and then how to act on that support. Why is Instagram doing this? Anyway, here's Kate. So I'm going to welcome her in and then we will formally get started. Instagram does this weird thumbs up thing now. Why is it doing that? I don't understand. Yeah, it's confusing. There she is. Hi, Kate.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Hello. I'm so good. I am so good. I see someone styled their hair today as opposed to me.
I was up early with calls, so I look normal today.
I do not
No,
because
you look great.
you're so sweet, but I was having to negotiate with my daughter about whether she needed a chest x-ray. Um, I know, but she's okay. She's fine. She's gonna live. You never don't need your mother, I think.
I get
Um,
that.
yeah. Okay, so today, what we're going to talk
Mhm.
about is we have what we want to do with our series is kind of unpack the basics, right? Really look at the structures that, I'll be honest, that I found, I don't know if I want to say intimidating, but kind of mysterious, that where I had questions that I even sometimes felt I couldn't ask, that
Yeah,
yeah, does that resonate, Kate? Like you can't
totally.
even, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like, especially a lot of us here, like you and I both work with a lot of solopreneurs or
Mhm.
entrepreneurs with small teams, and it could be a very like lonely world. Sometimes we're just in our head a lot, and sometimes we want to ask the questions and we're not really even the basic stuff. We're not sure of like if we're doing this right or just like need sometimes to bounce ideas off people. And
Mhm.
so I think that's part of why we're showing up here every week is to kind of form that community and
Yeah,
form that space.
yeah, I love that. I mean, not doing things right is a common feeling when you're an
Yeah,
entrepreneur. It's a very common feeling. And, if we allow the idea that there are only two master emotions, right? Fear or love, if you're in the feeling of I'm not doing this right, you're definitely not in the love vibe.
right.
You're more in the fear vibe, and that's kind of constricting. And so what we've found particularly over the last year, is that where we can untangle the mysteries, for ourselves and for our clients, it pulls us more into, a vibration that feels supportive, that feels consistent, and that vibration creates growth and expansion, and healing. But it's not about just being airy fairy. And
Mm.
here's where we just, we really feel like we've got this juxtaposition. What is with the running at the
It's
sun
a party over
and
there.
the party in here? Anyway, so basically, we want to present information that is very simple and
Mhm.
understandable about the juxtaposition between deep mindset work that
Yep.
is a vital part of an entrepreneurial business. It's a big time saver. It's really going to help you. And then also the structures that you
Mhm.
need, that we know that are like time tested and true. So,
Yes.
okay, so we agreed before our call that I would go first, and so I will.
Yes.
Um,
mindset first, then we'll, do the heavy hitting
And the
operation
heavy hitting.
stuff.
Okay. So the mindset question I wanted to talk about today is it's actually really sweet because I wrote this down before I had the opportunity to how would I say, like see it in action. And then I
Mhm.
did see it in action very recently. So the question is, why do I need help with mindset work? Like, why can't I just do this by myself? And the reason is is going to be, I hope, a beautiful thing for you guys to feel. So I was in a discovery call with someone recently who is dealing with some scarcity fears, some lack fears, and this is such a common experience for women, right? It's like, like businesses are female-run solopreneur businesses are traditionally not very well funded. Access to funding is very limited. If you're doing it by yourself, you could be surrounded by family members or support people who don't believe in you, who aren't leaning in to support you. It's kind of like I'll believe it, when I see it
Right.
from your family and things like that. And yeah, it just definitely is kind of an uphill climb for sure. And as well, a lot of us as women carry in our literal DNA, money fears, scarcity fears, under earning experiences like this is very common. So I'm in this discovery call with this woman who makes excellent money. Like she's quite successful. And she is telling me that she's got all this scarcity and lack fear about what she's doing, both with her business and in terms of investing coaching for herself. And that she also felt around the idea of coaching that she should just be able to do it herself. Like she just doesn't, she's like, she feels like she wants coaching, but also she feels like, why can't I just do
Right.
all this by myself? And what we started to realize is that the scarcity energy that she's experiencing is not even hers. Like it's from the community that she is living in, because in where she is exercising, actually, because the community that she's living in has some low money vibrations, and people who are financially struggling, and she she was picking up on their vibrations. And when it was pointed out to her that the beliefs that she's presenting to me, like out of her mouth, are not even hers, she had this aha moment of, wow, I never could have seen that, because she felt it, right? She
Right.
felt it in her body. Like, this is uncomfortable and I can't trust myself and I can't invest. And so
Right.
the reason I think this is why we can't, or part of why we can't do mindset work by ourselves, is it's impossible to spot our own blind spots.
Mhm.
We can't do it, and that's why we need therapists and we need coaches and we need support people, because they're called blind spots for a reason.
Mhm.
But the second part of it is that we also tap into the frequencies of other people. And so, what we want to be doing is finding people who have frequencies that we enjoy, aspirationally good frequencies, because you can't, what is that phrase? You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you,
Right.
right? So
Right.
that's really why I believe that my one of many reasons why mindset work, it is not something you can do entirely by yourself. There are of course solo elements to mindset work, and it is something that requires discipline in order to get your frequency up. But you also want to welcome in loving support and let yourself
Mhm.
receive support around it, because it is frequential work, and it does require dismantling beliefs that probably get tied to your blind spot.
Yeah. And it also, I think a really big piece of that is like then you have a lot comes up for you with mindset work. Um, and you have almost like a partner there to really, speak about those things with. You don't have to hold all those feelings that come up inside. Um, and with definitely what I've seen through coaching is just that having that partner, having some like mindset work could bring up ideas, can bring up feelings, that you have someone to talk through it with. Um, and so that's the
Yeah.
second side of it. And
Yeah.
just having like you're not going through it alone and knowing that also makes it a lot easier to do.
I mean, that is like the understatement of the year,
Hmm.
right? Because when emotions come up, they can be so overwhelming. Like we believe that we are our feelings. And I learned from a master teacher a trick I'll teach you guys right now that's really fast. I don't want to take up all of your time on this, Kate, but it's kind of a fun one. And it is this idea that we how can I say this? It's like we feel like we're feeling our real feelings, but most of the time, what we're feeling is our thoughts. And our real feelings can be felt. If you want to feel your real feelings, then right now, just pull all of your energy into the lower half of your body. Just like let your energy come down into your belly, into the lower part of your arms, into your legs, and when you do that, you can feel that there is a deeper sense of calm in your body, in your physiological experience. And so that as much as we adore our beautiful brains, mindset work requires that we actually come more deeply in tune with what our body is trying to teach us and show us. And having support around that really, as Kate said, like a place where you can spill it out and be brought back to center is absolutely crucial. And if you're building a business, even in my opinion, even more vital because then you have the opportunity to not have that stuff get in the way of what it is that you're building and growing.
It's true. You're kind of moving past that fear and
Hmm.
just always coming at your life and your business from that place of love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But well, maybe not always, right?
No, oh
Yeah,
no.
no, but
But maybe
as much as
you,
often as possible. Yeah.
yes, and you start recognizing, you can start recognizing mm, quickly, oh, I'm actually coming at this from fear or from overwhelm or from anxiousness, and you can see that and make that mindset shift faster once you start to work on it.
Yes, exactly,
No one's going to be
exactly.
perfect. No one's going to be like coming from that place of love 24/7,
No,
but
well,
recognizing how to get back to it faster is also a huge
it
benefit
is
from doing it.
because it's a muscle, right? You're
Hmm.
strengthening it. I mean, of course, there are beings on this earth that maybe are in that state of love all the time, but they're realized masters. These are individuals who are doing nothing but working on being in that like um, maha or samadhi kind of frequency. And
Hmm.
so that's not what's going on in the real world. Like we have kids, we have, spouses, we have pets, we have kitchen
Good
remodel
life.
projects, we have life, and so we need a place to unravel, but also a place to be held and encouraged to stay on a higher frequency or choose a higher frequency. It's
Great.
like stability, and that feels like a good pivot point because the stability that we have in our mindset work, of course, is supported by the stability in our operations. So, talk to us,
Yes.
Kate, about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah,
That
tell
actually
us.
is the perfect. So last week I talked a little bit about the importance of a core offer, which helps bring stability and consistency into your business. And as business owners, we all like that stability. Um, and this week I wanted to talk to you about like the second side of that is the sales funnel towards that core offer. And it doesn't need to be this huge overcomplicated funnel, but just having something set up to build your community, nurture them, and be able to sell to them really builds consistency in your business and it builds foundations. Um, it builds foundations that then you're able to set up systems for and processes for, and that's what makes your business growable and scalable. So it really all comes back to that the simplicity of, setting up the funnels and your core offer.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
think that's a really beautiful topic to visit
Mhm.
right after the TikTok debacle.
Yes. So
right?
yes, I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I guess so. The first part, kind of a funnel, is bringing people into your community, into your space, and a lot of people do that through a freebie, whether that's a guide, a webinar. You can turn it into an evergreen webinar, a podcast, something just where people can access you. And with that freebie, how important it is to have it off of social media. Um, and you're getting them to a place where you're capturing their email address and you're building your email list because that is yours to own. You're not worried that your email list is going to be shut down on, you know, last Sunday,
Yeah.
or something like that. So just, building a community that's off of social media is just so important. Um, and then the second part of that is really nurturing that community, making them feel like they're at home with you. Whether that's just like a weekly newsletter or giving, having organic socials that give them tips and whatnot. Um, your weekly podcast is something that's nurturing, or monthly podcast, but just nurturing them in a way, checking in on them through emails, making them feel like you're their go-to person for, fill in the blank with what you do. And then it makes selling that core offer so much easier because they're already in your space. They already know who you are, what you do, and why they need to go to you for certain things.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah, I love all of this. I love
yeah,
all of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just like taking the time to really set that up um, really helps your business in the long run and helps it with that consistency that we all crave and the foundations and the structure that as small businesses we do need.
There, there's so two things come up for me listening to you describe that. One is that as women, we need, it's really an interesting conundrum. It's like we need masculine energy in our businesses, like we need structure, in order to be in creative feminine energy. And one of the reasons I think that female entrepreneurs have kind of went off the rails for a while is that many women went way too far into, I don't need masculine energy at all. And that is not true. Like you have to have structure and foundation. And so setting it up in a way that is nourishing and supportive to you, in an aligned way that is like basically free from trauma, that is, recognizes who you are and how you want to work, which is something Kate specializes in, is like deciding how you want to interact with your community, deciding how you want to serve. Those pieces are vital. Um,
Yes.
so she absolutely vital. So I think she's actually almost underselling the value of what it is that she provides here, because having that offer designed to in a way that supports your nervous system and having that funnel set up in a way that gives you freedom to serve um, from your own best energy. It's like these are gold, you guys. Like just absolute gold to have that in your business. It's so important. But the other thing that comes up listening to you, Kate, is something I've got saved somewhere on my desktop that was from the IG genius Monty Woodard. And Kate and I both follow him, and he's just incredible. It's an incredible marketer. And what he said, might have been a couple years ago, is that people are drowning in content, but they
Mhm.
are starving for context. Starving
I love
for,
that.
hmm they're starving for context. And
Mhm.
as we know, both Kate and I follow a couple of social media marketers who are talking about authenticity and it's back to basics, and like what's selling this year is like you being real, on the platforms, in your communication, in your business. That's vital. Well, if you're going to do that, you better have it set up in a way that gives you sort of the peaceful space and freedom to do it,
Right.
because as women, which is most of our audiences are women, with the occasional lovely, frankly evolved man, is you need a structure that you can be inside of and enjoy so that you can flow. Does that resonate for you, Kate?
100%. You're gonna, the reason reason that we are all in business for ourselves is for that like sense of freedom and that sense of joy. And if you're like battling every day and it's not feeling good to your nervous system, you're not going to want to do any of it. So yeah, the importance of being true to who you are and having the structures in place that, you know, handle the stuff that maybe you is not what's bringing you joy, what's not nourishing yourself, so that you can show up authentically. That's like where we need to like find ourselves in business.
Yeah, because really, at the end of the day, we're selling our energy, you guys. Like, of course, you're selling problem solving, you're selling help, to other people. Maybe you're selling marketing services or music or some kind of healing or, in Kate's case, operational support, in my case, coaching. But you're selling your energy. And so supporting your energy, I mean, I just get a chill. Like it is job number one. You've got to take care of yourself in business, and it requires that you lean in and create the support that you need, that you want, that you enjoy, and it requires figuring out how you can be brought to a higher level, in your mindset work, how you can raise your frequency. So both are important.
100%.
Hmm.
Yes. I love that.
Oh, good, good. Well, everybody who watches this, we don't have anybody with us live today. That's fine. Just wait till we're famous. But
Mhm.
we, but we'll keep on. If you have questions for us, if you watch our series and you have a question that you'd like us to tackle, either on the operational side or on the mindset side, then please just comment on the YouTube or tag us on Instagram. And we are still holding one. We have one spot open. We're recording this on January 23rd. And we still have room for one more person to onboard into our new program resource,
Mhm.
which is a combination of coaching and operational support. It's a 4-month program with both of us. We're super excited about it, and $625 can anchor you into that program. So if that's of interest to you, then DM either one of us and we'll get you program details. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. This was wonderful.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.